Moment that arrives in almost every life. You are standing in front of something that feels enormous, a loss, a betrayal, a worry that will not let you sleep. And from where you are standing, it looks like a mountain, a solid, permanent, impossible to walk around. And then something shifts, not the mountain, but you. And suddenly, the thing that was going to crush you is just a stone on the path. You step over it, you keep walking. Papuji Dashat Bhai Patel speaks about that shift, not as a miracle, as a skill, something you can practice, the way you had practiced anything else. Welcome to Era of Supreme Peace. I am Mona and today I am here because this teaching is very wonderful. It needs a little silence around it. Bapuji uses a phrase I want to sit with before we go anywhere else. Bapuji says, Behad ke bacche, the children of the unlimited, the children of the infinite. Not children of a family, not children of a country, a caste, a career, a race, children of the infinite, of something with no border and no ending. And a child of the infinite, and to the child of the infinite, Bapuji is giving an instruction that sounds too simple. Give everything to the Supreme Father. Everything. Now, most of us know how to do half of that. When life gets difficult, hard, we hand it over. Please take this, Father. I cannot carry it. Surrender comes easily to us in the dark. But Bapuji is not only talking about the sorrow. Bapuji is saying, give me the happiness too, the good news, the promotion. The child who got well the morning that went right for no reason at all. And I think that's the part we skip because sorrow feels like a burden and joy feels like a possession. One we want to put down, the other we want to hold on. But when you offer both, when nothing in your life is being privately hoarded, something changes in the weight of things. So Bapuji describes it directly. The hard times still come, but they pass easily. What looked like a mountain becomes nothing at all. Notice what he is not promising. He doesn't say the mountain disappears. He says it stops being a mountain to you. That is not denial. That is proportion. And proportion is what suffering steals first. So now we come to the topic of Bhavatit, beyond the emotions. The second teaching has a very beautiful word attached to it. Beyond feeling, beyond emotion. And I want to be very careful here because in English that can land wrong. It can sound cold. It can sound like Bapuji is asking us to become stone. He's not. Think about what an emotion actually does in the moment it grips you. Someone says something sharp, and in that half second, a thread is spun between you and them. Resentment, obligation, a debt one of you now owes. So Bapuji calls those threads karmic bonds. And his point is very precise. Every time we get caught in a reaction, we do not just feel something, we tie something. We create a new account, a new knot, something that will have to be untied later, maybe much later. So the wise soul, the faithful soul learns to rise above the reaction, not to stop feeling, not to stop being pulled. And here is the part I found most hopeful. Bapuji says this doesn't only prevent new bonds, staying detached from emotional trapment actually cuts the old ones, the knots you tied years ago, the ones you have been dragging behind you without even remembering when they were made. You do not undo them by fighting them. You undo them by refusing to make more. The rope stops being fed and eventually it ends. And the third is the constant Karam Yogi. What does that mean? Bapuji gives us the practice, and it is a demanding one, but it's not complicated. Be a constant Karam Yogi, not a Karam Yogi in the morning, not a Karam Yogi in a temple or in your comfort zone, or for the 20 minutes when nobody needs anything from you. But Bapuji is saying constant Karam Yogi, which means in the middle of your work, in traffic, in the argument, while you are doing the ordinary, unglamorous, entirely worldly things that make up most of a human life. Bapuji puts it very plainly: remain unaffected by what you see and what you hear, and keep doing your duties anyways. Both halves matter. This is not withdrawal. You still show up, you still work, you still take care of the people in your life. You just stop letting every sight and every sound rearrange your inner state. And when you can hold it, Bapuji says something remarkable happens. Your ordinary actions stop being ordinary. The same email, the same commute, the same difficult conversation with this difficult same person. Nothing external has changed, but the action has become spiritual because of the consciousness you brought to it. Life becomes effortless, not empty. Effortless, there is a difference. The work is still there, the friction is gone. And then Bapuji adds the line that I keep coming back to. The negative people around you begin to turn positive. Not because you corrected them, not because you finally won the argument, because you stopped supplying the charge. You became still, and stillness is contagious in a way that argument never is. Most of us spent our whole lives trying to change people by pushing on them. Bapuji is describing the opposite mechanism entirely. Do not live in a small room, Bapuji says, and then at the end comes the challenge. Bapuji says, those who have received the unlimited knowledge should not be living inside limited thoughts and limited words. I feel that one. I think anyone honest does. You can hold the largest possible understanding of reality. Souls, worlds beyond this one, a cosmos that doesn't end. And still spend your afternoon irritated about a parking space, about any situation. Still replay a comment someone made 3 years ago. Still get small. So the knowledge is unlimited. The mind quietly has moved back into a small room. So Babuji's instruction is to keep the intellect beyond the boundary as a discipline. Notice when your thinking has shrunk, he tells us where to point it. World service of your soul. And they are powers, he is very insistent about that, and aim them outwards at the transformation of the world, not the management of your own small grievance. That is how an ultimate destiny gets built, not in a dramatic gesture, in the direction you keep pointing yourself day after day. So, four things, and they are really one thing seen from four angles. Give everything away, the joy along with the sorrow, and the mountain becomes a stone. Rise above the reaction, and the old knots start coming loose. Stay in the Karma Yogi state while you do your ordinary work, and the ordinary work stops being ordinary. And keep your mind out of this small room, because you were given something unlimited and it was never meant to be spent on the petty things. Here is what I had offered for this week. Just one experiment. The next time something good happens, something small and good, offer it before you enjoy it. Just for a second. Hand it over first and notice whether the joy gets smaller. I do not think it does. I think it gets lighter. That is the episode. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. Wherever you are, whatever the mountain in front of you happens to be today, may it turn out to be a stone. Thank you so much. Param Shanti. See you in next episode. Supreme peace. Have a wonderful day.